Welcome everybody to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, Bitcoin price posting the best September since 2016 as Bitcoin sellers eye 27,500 next. In breaking news, Mexican billionaire Ricardo Salinas says he holds 60% of his portfolio in Bitcoin. Smart man. And quitting Max Kaiser, Bitcoin inspires, assures, and monetizes peace and love. Fiat money monetizes war and hate. This is why El Salvador is growing and the US, UK, Canada, and almost every other country is shrinking or collapsing. Also in today's show, more breaking news. Three Arrows capital Su Zhu arrested in Singapore. That's right. He was arrested at Singapore's airport while attempting to leave the country after a court granted a committal order. We'll also be discussing Bitwise announces their Ethereum ETF launch on October 2nd. That's right, just 2 days away. Bitwise stated that this move will enable the investors to access CME Ether futures. We'll also be discussing Costco selling out of gold bars. But is it a better investment than Bitcoin? Oh, hell no. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be discussing a $600 billion tipping point for crypto, and that's Bitcoin ETFs, fam. We'll also be discussing 6 reasons why the Bitcoin price will smash $200,000 per coin tied to the Blackrock ETF approval. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And also smash the like if you gain value out of today's show, as it greatly helps out with the YouTube algorithm. With that being shared, welcome everyone. This is pod episode number 1417. I'm your host JV, and today is the last day of the month, September 30th, 2023. So much for September. This is the best month for crypto since 2016, which is a pretty big deal. So let's kick off today's show as we do each and every day with our market watch. As you can see here on Coin360, a sea of green. Bitcoin still sitting above 27,000. We have Ether just on the cusp of recapture in 1,700. We have Solana trading above 21 bucks, and BNB and Cardano also in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at 1.08 trillion as far as the market cap, with roughly 32 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is 48.4%, with the Ether dominance at 18.7%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got GMX leading the pack, up almost 6%, trading above $40.50, followed by Solana, up almost 6%, trading at $21.42, followed by Maker, up almost 6%, trading at $1,541. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, again, you can see a sea of green, which is a great sign for the crypto market, with Solana, Maker, and GMX and WeMix leading the pack. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated a 47, which is neutral. Yesterday was a 48, last week a 47, and last month a 52, which is neutral. So there you have it. How many of you are currently bullish on Bitcoin for heading into October, which is right around the corner tomorrow? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And now let's break down today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts and what's popping with the King Crypto. As you can see here, Bitcoin bulls lost their grip on 27,000 into September 30th as the monthly and quarterly close loomed large. Here, as you can see, the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart, and we just regained 27,000 right before I went live. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView tracked cooling off for the Bitcoin price action ahead of the key September candle print. Bitcoin remained up nearly 4%. Month to date, not too shabby, marking its most successful September since 2016 per data from Monitoring Resource, CoinGlass. And conversely, the quarterly performance for quarter 3 showed Bitcoin down 11.5% at this time. And for analysts, everything could change in the final hours of the monthly candle, so it's going to be an interesting evening. In the past, a green September resulted in a green October, November, and December as well. Another great sign. So will history repeat? What do you think, fam? Let me know in that live chat. Now, the day prior, another analyst, Jelly, predicted better conditions for quarter 4, including a breakout pass, 30,000 for the first time since early August, quoting the analyst here. After months of accumulating coins and slowly preparing us for the bull market, I think it is time. Expecting quarter 4 to bring new strength and a break of $30,000. Send it. Let's freaking go. Now let's discuss the textbook bearish technicals, shall we? Beyond the monthly and weekly close, the impending United States government shutdown should continue to suppress the price action of Bitcoin unless a solution is found in time. Quoting material indicators, we're heading into the last trading day of the month with with textbook bearish technicals for the key moving average on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly timeframes. And the trend precognition is flashing a new trading signal on the Bitcoin daily chart. So it'll be interesting. He also says there's a high probability that the killer whales, the long-term hodlers, will be amping up the weekend whale games around the daily, weekly, and monthly candle closes. Don't get lured into the trap. He also shares this snapshot of the Bitcoin order book, which is the largest global exchange Binance, showing bid liquidity congregating around 26.8. Meanwhile, sellers lay in wait at $27,500. And quoting Dan Crypto Trades, we have had volatility last week, but open interest has cooled down, so I doubt we'll get any strange price action until maybe later on Sunday. And this chart showed the CME Group Bitcoin futures opening and closing prices potentially acting as a magnet for the Bitcoin spot price, which is a common phenomenon. As you know, we tend to close those CME futures gaps. Now, Ricardo Salinas, he's known as being the third richest man in Mexico. God bless his soul. 60% of his portfolio is in Bitcoin. You gotta love it. And shout out to Max Kaiser for orange pilling Ricardo Salinas. Well done. And quoting Max, Bitcoin inspires, assures, and monetizes peace and love. Fiat money monetizes war and hate. Facts. This is why El Salvador is growing and the US, the UK, Canada, and almost every other country is shrinking or collapsing. Preach. And as he shares some statistics, I know Bukele has been sharing as well, that El Salvador went from the most dangerous country to live as far as the murder capital of the world to becoming the safest, now safer than the United States, and up there with Canada, which is remarkable. So shout out to my people in El Salvador and their fearless president, Nayib Bukele. Now let's break down our next story of the day, which is breaking news. Three Arrows Capital founder has been arrested. Su Zhu, that's right. Check this out. He was just arrested at the airport. The co-founder of Three Arrows Capital was arrested in Singapore when attempting to leave the country. He learned from Teneo, the joint liquidator of the bankrupt hedge fund. This is how this was reported on in the statement. Teneo announced that Zhu was apprehended at Changi Airport whilst attempting to travel out of Singapore following a committal order granted by the Singapore courts against him. A committal order is used to send someone to prison for contempt of court. On September 25th, 5 days back, he was granted its committal request in Singapore, claiming Zhu failed to comply with the court order. Meanwhile, the investigation is related to efforts to recover funds for creditors of Three Arrows Capital. How many of you were impacted or affected as a result of this collapsed company? Let me know. The $10 billion hedge fund collapse last year in 2022. Following the implosion of the Terra ecosystem, Three Arrows Capital had excessive leverage on long positions across some cryptos and borrowed hundreds of millions of dollars from crypto lending protocol. Since the failure, co-founder Su Zhu and Kyle Davies have been on the run from liquidators. Although very active on social media, the committal order granted in Singapore sentenced Su Zhu to 4 months imprisonment. A similar committal order was granted against Davies, said Teneo. Quoting them here, as a result, Mr. Su Zhu will be held in prison to serve his sentence of 4 months under the committal order, during which time the liquidators will seek to engage with him on matters relating to Three Arrows Capital, focusing on the recovery of assets that are either the property of Three Arrows Capital or that have been acquired using Three Arrow Capital funds. The liquidators will pursue all opportunities to ensure Mr. Zhu complies in full with the court order made against him for provision of information and docs relating to Three Arrows Capital and its former investment manager during the course of his imprisonment and thereafter, and may make applications for further court orders as required. Now, Davies' whereabouts remain currently unknown. The Monetary Authority of Singapore prohibited Su Zhu and Davies from conducting regulated investment activity for 9 years each. Like, whoa. So there you have it. Another one bites the dust. Now let's break down our next story of the day. Did you know in 2 days there's going to be an Ethereum ETF launch for futures? Let's break this one down and then we'll start talking about, more importantly, Bitcoin spot ETFs and everything related to it. Bitwise Asset Management has revised the spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund app and confirmed that trading for 2 Ether futures ETFs will commence October 2nd. That's right, 2 days out. The firm revealed that trading is scheduled to commence for the Bitwise Ethereum Strategy ETF ETF and the Bitwise Bitcoin and Ether Equal Weight Strategy ETF. Bitwise stated that this move will enable the investors to access the CME Ether futures. The firm's chief investment officer, Matt Hugan, shared the following. Ethereum offers a more extensive portfolio opportunity compared to Bitcoin. Some investors view Ethereum as an alternative, while others perceive it as a conventional growth investment encompassing attributes of both. Numerous companies awaiting approval for the spot Bitcoin ETF have also entered the Ethereum ETH race. As reported, the asset management company Invesco is also exploring the possibility of introducing the Invesco Galaxy Ethereum ETF. Meanwhile, Bitwise, Blackrock, Invesco, and Valkyrie are still waiting approval for their spot Bitcoin ETF apps by the US SEC, which has been delayed, making a decision amid a looming US government shutdown. Additionally, the outcome of the Grayscale lawsuit, which supports the transformation of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into the Bitcoin ETF, might influence when the SEC makes a decision regarding approving the spot Bitcoin ETF applications. Hopefully they all get approved like a domino effect. What are your thoughts, chat? On August 29th, a U.S. court paved the path for the approval of the Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF by dismissing the agency's objections. Meanwhile, Bloomberg analyst James Safar had disclosed the complete roster of 9 Ethereum futures ETFs slated to receive expedited approval from the SEC for their launch on Monday, October 2nd, 2023. So there you have it, fam. But as we already know, futures ETFs are not a good look for the investors. And in fact, they're not really even a good look for the regulators. However, regulators like to be able to control and manipulate the market prices, in which they do also with government shutdowns. There's nothing new here. But anyways, more importantly, let's get to some Bitcoin ETFs, but first we got to discuss our next story of the day. Gold versus Bitcoin. Costco, I'm sure you've probably heard of them or shopped there. I shop there every week. Anyways, they started selling gold bars and they have sold out, which is very interesting, but there are a lot of comparisons, obviously, between gold and Bitcoin. Many people refer to Bitcoin as gold 2.0 or gold with wings, but in my humble opinion, Bitcoin is so much more superior to the precious metal that it doesn't even make any sense to be investing into gold for obvious reasons. 2 big ones that come to my mind: confiscation, as well as market manipulation. They have been manipulating the precious metals markets for quite some time, as I commonly cover here in the show. But anyways, let's break down the story regarding Costco. They made the headlines this week after rapidly sold out on gold bars. This goes to show you that people do not trust the US dollar. Sign of the times, right? In times of economic uncertainty as well as rising inflation, it is no surprise investors are turning to traditional safe haven assets like gold. Anything but the dollar. You know what I mean? The question is whether gold's performance will eventually catapult its price above $2,050, a level last seen in early May. In the past 12 months, the price of gold had surged by an impressive 12%. Not impressive to me. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin surge like 60 million % since the inception, but hey, just saying. This rally has been partially fueled by the Fed's efforts to combat inflation by maintaining higher interest rates, a move that benefits the scarce assets such as gold. While gold's performance is commendable, it's essential to put it into perspective. Here in this chart, I mean, charts don't lie, you can see the yellow line, which represents gold. Bitcoin is in the orange, the S&P is in the green, and then you have oil in the black. This is over the past 12 months. Now, over that same period, gold's returns have roughly matched those of the S&P 500, which saw a gain of 15.4%, and with oil, it increased by 12%. However, these gains pale in comparison to Bitcoin's staggering 39.5% rise. Bitcoin for the win. Still, it's important to note that gold's lower volatility at 12% makes it an attractive choice for investors looking to manage risks. Now let's discuss the risk-reward scenarios favoring gold. One of the gold's strongest selling points is its reliability as a store of value during times of crisis and uncertainty. Gold's status as the world's largest tradable asset, valued at over $12 trillion, positions it as the primary candidate to benefit from capital inflows whenever investors exit traditional markets such as stocks and real estate. And here you can see again Bitcoin versus gold and the S&P as well as oil. And for example, at the height of the COVID pandemic, gold only dipped 2.2% as indicated here in the chart in the 30 days leading up to March 24th, 2020. And according to data from the World Gold Council, the central banks have been net buyers of gold for the second consecutive month, adding 55 tons to their reserves, which notably purchased by China, Poland, and Turkey. So that's right. They're mass hodling gold, especially in China, Poland, and Turkey. Bloomberg reported that Russia plans to bolster its gold reserves by an additional $433 million to shield its economy from the volatility of commodity markets, especially in the oil and gas industries. And taking a closer look at these production figures, visual capitalists estimate that approximately 3,100 tons of gold were produced in 2022. Now with Bitcoin, we know there's a finite limited supply. You're not just going to be producing mass amounts of gold out of the blue. Now with Russia and China accounting for 650 tons of this total, the World Gold Council also predicts that if gold prices continue to rise, the total production would reach a record high of 3,300 tons in 2023. Now, one crucial metric to consider when evaluating the gold's investment potential is its stock-to-flow ratio, which measures the production of a commodity relative to the total quantity in existence. That's right, gold's stock-to-flow had remained stable at around 67 for the past 12 years. And in contrast, Bitcoin had experienced 3 scheduled halvings, effectively reducing its issuance, and currently boasts a stock-to-flow ratio of 59. This suggests that Bitcoin has a lower equivalent inflation rate compared to the precious metal, but Bitcoin can outperform gold even with lower inflows 100%. Bitcoin's performance could surpass gold's as the U.S. government's approach to a shutdown due to reaching the debt limit, causing investors to seek alternative scarce assets. Bitcoin's 500 billion market cap makes it easier for the price to jump, even if its inflow is much smaller. And additionally, the central banks could be compelled to sell their gold holdings to cover the expenses, further boosting Bitcoin's appeal. There is also the possibility of new gold discoveries. In fact, I was actually on X the other day, and there was, I forget which country in Africa, but they discovered the hugest gold rock I've ever seen in my entire life. Just looked like a massive boulder. Solid gold. You can't just randomly find more Bitcoin, folks. It's capped off at a finite limited supply of 21 million. So in my humble opinion, there is no comparison. But what are your thoughts? Are any of you investors in precious metals such as gold or silver? Let me know in the comments right down below. Or maybe you're all in on Bitcoin as I am. The only gold I have is a little bit of jewelry passed on from my grandfather and father. May he rest in peace. You know what I mean? But much love, much respect, and shout out to everyone just joining us in the live chat. We are blowing up. Let's freaking go. Everyone be sure to smash that like button. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And with that being shared, now let's discuss Bitcoin Spot ETF, and then we'll dive into our $200,000 Bitcoin price prediction. I'm going to be giving you 6 reasons why Bitcoin is likely to smash that $200,000 target, and then we'll dive into our live Q&A as Bitcoin remains above 27,000. You gotta love it. So yeah, now let's break down this next story of the day. Here we go. United States Appeal Court directed the SEC in August to reassess the denial of Grayscale's app for the Bitcoin exchange traded fund. A little noted consequence of that decision is that it could open the floodgates for $600 billion in new cash to enter the crypto market. That's significant considering right now the Bitcoin market cap is less than that. Now, ETFs provide investors with a regulated way to gain exposure to different asset classes, including Bitcoin. The approval of the Bitcoin ETF could democratize investment in the crypto sector, drawing parallels to how the iShares MSCI Brazil ETF and the VanEck Brazil Small Cap ETF have democratized investing in the Brazilian market. And despite some hurdles, market analysts anticipate potential Bitcoin ETF approval by early 2024. Send it. Let's go. Right around the time of the Bitcoin halving, a Bitcoin ETF could unlock an estimated $600 billion in new demand, according to a September report by analysts at Bernstein, more than doubling the approximately $550 billion fully diluted market cap at which Bitcoin stands today. And I think we could even usher in trillions of dollars. The total addressable market is north of 700 trillion, fam, just FYI. However, these predictions are speculative, and with the actual outcome depending on various factors such as market dynamics, company strategies, and regulatory responses. Notably, the SEC delayed the decision on Cathie Wood's ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF app several times already, and in August, Wood expressed her expectation for these delays, stating that she believed the SEC would approve multiple Bitcoin ETFs simultaneously. But on September September 26th, the SEC extended the decision period further to January 10th. Come on, no clarity, Gary. Congress is already telling you to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States immediately. However, no clarity, Gary delays the rejections of Bitcoin ETF apps, and they have drawn criticism and fueled investor frustration. Are you one of the frustrated investors? Let me know. A bipartisan group of lawmakers urged Gensler this month to grant immediate approval for an ETF. How many of you watched that hearing of Gensler versus Congress? I thought it was great, arguing that post-grayscale court decision, there is no reason to deny spot crypto ETFs, which they believe would enhance investor safeguards. Facts. This congressional pressure further complicates the path to the Bitcoin ETF approval, adding that the uncertainty as the ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF decision date approaches. And in tandem with the SEC's deliberations over the Bitcoin ETFs, major players in the crypto industry are actively lobbying for new rules. For example, Coinbase is spearheading one of the largest lobbying pushes in the crypto industry, aiming to garner support amongst lawmakers for the introduction of new regulations. As we continue to observe these unfolding developments, it becomes increasingly clear that the future of crypto regulations is being hotly contested. I think by design, fam. What are your thoughts? Recent developments suggest more potential delays in the approval of Bitcoin ETFs as a whole. James Seyfarth, Bloomberg ETF analyst, speculates that the SEC's recent decisions may have dampened prospects for ETF approval this year. In 2023, filings from major players such as Blackrock, the largest asset manager in the world, Bitwise, WisdomTree, are slated for review in the third week of October. However, the SEC's recent actions on 21 ARK shares had sparked speculation that other filings due for review mid-October in a couple of weeks, including those from Van Eck, Invesco, Fidelity, and Valkyrie, which could also experience delays. So it remains to be seen whether there will be any significant updates on these applications anytime soon. My personal thought, I think they're going to personally kick it back again, as long as they could, because that's why the SEC is here with Gary Gensler, right? They want to manipulate and control the markets, but guess what? You can't manipulate and control the Bitcoin ETF markets, only futures markets, hence why they have approved several futures ETFs, but keep denying and pushing back the spot ETFs. The first spot Bitcoin ETF application was submitted by the Winklevoss twins, the owners of the Gemini exchange, over a decade ago. That's more than 10 years ago. Yet, we still don't have one. So Mr. No Clarity Gary, are you going to listen to Congress and approve one immediately, or are you going to get fired? What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments right down below. And back to our story. To better understand the implications of these ETFs, let's delve into the concept of assets under management, which represents the total market value of the financial assets in entirety or advisor manages on behalf of their clients. This crucial metric in the investment world serves as an indicator of performance. Consider the following table for more insight. As you can see right here, AUM, assets under management, BlackRock, almost 9.5 trillion. That's crazy. Just 1% of their assets under management is like, whoa, what is this number? Is that 94 billion? Good Lord. 2%, 188 billion. You know what I mean? And the type of ETF filed, you can see them all in the chart below BlackRock. The next up is Fidelity Investments with roughly 3.9 trillion in assets under management, followed by Invesco with 1.5 trillion. We have WisdomTree with, looks like, I don't know if that's 75 billion. ARK Invest with roughly 5 billion. Valkyrie Investments with 120 billion. Van Eck with 7 billion. Skybridge Capital with 770 million. And ProShares with 60 million. Let's go. Financial institutions with the higher AUM like BlackRock could generate more revenue from management fees if they successfully launch the Bitcoin ETF. As competition in the Bitcoin ETF market intensifies, as the game theory continues in full effect, it may drive down management fees. I think personally, competition is a great thing. Investment firms charge these fees for managing funds, typically ranging from 0.2 to 2%. A trend of decreasing management fees has been observed recently due to the increased competition, cost-effective investment strategies, and investor demand for transparency. So there you have it. And as Max Kaiser recently shared, whoever bribes the SEC and pays them the largest amount of bribe is going to get their spot Bitcoin ETF approved first. Who has the most money and controls almost every major corporation in the world? You guessed it, BlackRock, fam. So more than likely, I think BlackRock is to get the approval from the SEC. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be around the time of March of next year, right before the Bitcoin halving. Can you say bull market, price discovery mode, and new all-time highs? Let's freaking go. And with that being shared, fam, now let's discuss 6 reasons why I believe the Bitcoin price will reach $200,000 per coin sooner than later. Let's break this one down, shall we? An analyst and YouTuber, Crypto Rover, suggests that it is highly anticipated Blackrock ETF receives a green light. The value of Bitcoin can soar to $200,000 per coin, which represents an increase of 663%. Let's go. Let's explore the 6 compelling reasons that Crypto Rover presents to support his claim. Here's the X post he shared right here, quoting him word for word. I think Bitcoin will go to $200,000 plus if the Blackrock Spot ETF gets approved. So Mr. No Clarity Gary, let's go. Here are the 6 reasons why the approval is imminent. Number 1, BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, has an impressive ETF approval rate of 99.8%, with only 1 rejection throughout its history. That's right, it's something like 575 times the SEC approved their ETF app and only rejected it once. So that's a great indicator that we can get this approval sooner than later. Number 2, during the 2008 financial crisis, the US government and the Fed solicited BlackRock to devise a strategy to navigate the situation. This demonstrates a high level of trust in BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. They're probably more powerful than most of the governments of the world, as they control more assets under management than GDPs of major nations around the world, right? Number 3, the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, recently expressed a favorable view of Bitcoin, describing it as digital gold and emphasizing its potential role in portfolio diversification. Facts. Number 4, BlackRock had previously introduced a private Bitcoin ETF tailored for institutional investors. Number 5, spot Bitcoin ETFs have already been established and are active in both Europe and Canada. And number 6, additionally, other major asset management firms, including the likes of Vanguard and Fidelity, have submitted applications for their own Bitcoin spot ETFs this cycle. So I feel it is 100% inevitable. It's coming. Even Mr. No Clarity Gary, the SEC, is not going to be able to continue pushing this back for much longer. So next year, peep this, fam. In literally 6 months' time, we can have the Bitcoin halving and a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States finally approved, the 2 biggest bullish catalysts that exist in Bitcoin around the same freaking time. Add on that the supply demand. You know what I mean? Stock to flow, supply and demand, supply shock. There's less than 2 million Bitcoin currently sitting on the exchanges. Do you know if they launch the ETF, BlackRock is going to have to be holding the underlying asset? Have they already accumulated, or are they looking to accumulate mass BTC? I think their boys over on Wall Street and the SEC, they're trying to suppress the prices so they can keep stacking, so when they launch, they're ready to go. Would you rather purchase Bitcoin at 20,000 a coin or 200,000 a coin? I think BlackRock much rather purchase it at 20,000, around this ballpark, the same as any investor would. So to me, that only makes sense. I am more bullish on Bitcoin right now than I have ever been in my entire life, and I cannot believe we are so close to 2024. This is going to be an incredible year. How many of you this will be your first halving event? Let me know in the comments right down below. And if you gain value out of today's show, go ahead and smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Now let's dive into some live Q&A. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. What up, Leonard Ray? What up, $0 G Bro? What it do, fam? Ambrosia Chocolate Factory, welcome to the live show. Greatly appreciate everyone's support each and every day. We have T-Man Cool 24, Geoff McCarthy, MK Still Stacking, Mark Anthony. Good to see the fam in the building. Shout out to our mods, Bitcoin Maximus. Shout out to Digital Dankness. Love what you're doing, fam. Doge G Flover, what up? Way higher than 200,000 with ETFs. That's right. This is a conservative prediction. We can go to $2 million per Bitcoin with an ETF approval. And we all know this is facts. If you understand Bitcoin and how big the total addressable market is, and that everything's going to eventually go to zero against Bitcoin, you already know. What would hypothetically happen if BlackRock and all these large asset managers that get the approval for their spot Bitcoin ETF next year, what if they were to put just 5% of their total assets under management into the Bitcoin market? Game on. We're talking about a multiple 7-figure Bitcoin price prediction becoming a reality. So yeah, 200,000, conservative. I agree with you, fam, 100%. And yes, tomorrow starts the October run. Uptober. Let's freaking go. Don't let October run. It has scissors. Dankness, making jokes here. The alarm is set. Well, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you holding in. And yes, we're holding on to 27 and we're heading back north to 30,000. So let's freaking go. Let's get it. I appreciate the support, everyone. DCA Bitcoin No Alts. Good afternoon. Looking forward to this episode. Yeah, I appreciate it. This is podcast episode number 1417. And just FYI, especially if you're new and you don't know, after this live stream ends on YouTube, we continue the after party uncensored on Rumble. You're going to notice in the YouTube live chat, there's already a link directly to the broadcast on Rumble. And if you didn't know, I broadcast simultaneously every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year on both YouTube and Rumble. When the YouTube Q&A session is over, we continue the after party uncensored on Rumble. So I strongly encourage all of you to join me and follow us on Rumble, and let's freaking get it. You know what I mean? Because if you love uncensored JV, let me know in that chat, fam. What's up, McLovin? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Passive AI, what it do? Good stuff. Yeah, Steve Rundle, Austin, Texas, Stone Cold in the building. Shout out. Looking to get GBT4 now, but 20 a month. Good stuff. You guys talking about AI, artificial intelligence, the growth of that tech has been insane. Didn't ChatGPT go from 0 to like 100 million users within 60 days? The fastest growth of any technology in history that I am aware of. So when you combine crypto, such as Bitcoin, the king, with AI, good Lord, it's going to be a very interesting future, fam. Good morning, Zap Ingram. Appreciate you tuning in. He says, checking in from the laundromat in Japan. That's what's up. Much respect. And shout out to my peeps in Japan. Smashing that like button because we already know it's going to be a damn good show. Appreciate that, Zap. Much love, much respect. Shout out to Jacob Anderson. I appreciate you. It's pouring down here in Tampa, Florida. That's my old stomping grounds. As you know, I relocated to Puerto Rico from Clearwater. Clearwater's like 15 minutes from Tampa. Stay safe out there. I seen some crazy floods in New York. Anyone here in New York? Where's Ellen at? Is Ellen safe? I haven't heard from her in a few days. Tim's Crypto, good afternoon. Appreciate you tuning in, fam. Carl, what it do? Appreciate the support. Corey, what up, JV? Liked and smashed. Thank you. Been missing the show because I got a new job. Almost doubled my income. And instead of rolling my 401k, I just BTMD'd last week. Massive congratulations, fam. Keep stacking them sats. It's a great time to be doing so. Get a drink ASAP. Thank you, Tim. Sometimes I just need permission to drink something, for Christ's sake, because I can just rant 100 miles an hour and forget about it. Appreciate that. Hey fam, what up, Crimsy M? What up, Jay Fellas? Yeah, it's been a minute. Rave Elevator, haven't seen you in a minute. How you been, fam? Can't wait to come visit in Puerto Rico. Bitcoin $100,000 plus in 2024. That's right. For those that don't know and who are new to the channel, we're going to be having a $100,000 Bitcoin fiesta in Puerto Rico. To join and to get details, if you want to come down to Puerto Rico and link up with the fam, simply visit our Discord Crypto News Alert server. It can be found at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net and plug in. There's a channel specifically for the 100K Fiesta entitled 100K Fiesta. Yeah, man. Good times. Tough T, what it do? Appreciate you tuning in. Satwise, welcome. Orange Pill, much love. Chris, what it do? Pumptober, I like that as well. Got a ring to it. What's up, fam and JV? The bull run is around the corner. You already know. Let's get it. JV crypto picking up slowly. No bull run though. Well, it's how you depend to look at it. I believe the bull run started after the bottom of last year when we hit 15,700. We've been climbing since. I mean, Bitcoin's up respectively I don't know. We're still up a lot this year, something like 40%. So yeah, I mean, bullishness will only continue as we approach the halving unless there is another black swan event like COVID 2024. And even then, look at what happened with the Black Swan event in 2020. Bitcoin crashed to less than $4,000, but then we climbed to hit a new all-time high the following year in 2021 of 69,000. So what a come up. You guys had the opportunity to make some serious gains. We're going to have another major opportunity right around the corner. So seize the moment. Take advantage of it. Yeah, we're above 27,000 right now. Bukele is king. Preach. Founder is a ledger in the butt. Who are we referring to there? What up, Crypto News Alerts fam? What up, chill? $0 Giro. I finally caught the hearing with Gensler in Congress, and I highly suggest everybody watch it. It is proof as to how people are beginning to take this seriously. Adoption is on the way. Preach, 100%. Ben Silva, welcome fam. Let's get over 300 people in this live chat. All I need you guys to do is smash the like, and more people will be invited to join, because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. The more people interact and hit that like button, it's free to do, it's easy to do, more people will see this live transmission and join the broadcast, and we'll smash over 300 live here on YouTube. And I know we got a ton of people over on Rumble. Let's get it. All approved at once. Let's go. That's right. That's called the game theory. We like competition. Competition is good for the investors. Yes, 100%. Hashtag fire Gary Gensler. Word up, StatWise, I'm with you. Scarcity too. You can always mine more gold, 100%. You can invest more into mining and always find more. So it's not as scarce as you believe. Regulators and major institutions like JP Morgan Chase have been caught red-handed spoofing the precious metals markets over and over again. They had to pay over a $900 million fine for doing so. So why did they do that? Because Wall Street works hand in hand with the regulators. They want to suppress the precious metal markets just like everything else, because they don't want you to take your fiat sitting in the bank and put it into gold. That's the last thing they want, because precious metals also undermines the value of the US dollar. So what do? They spoof the markets. They do it through Wall Street and central banking Ponzi schemes like JP Morgan. So no love for Jamie Dimon or Jamie the Tapeworm, whoever you want to refer to him as. So yeah, I don't trust those markets. The only market with true price discovery is Bitcoin. And once we get that spot ETF, game on. Even the regulators know they're not going to have any control over it. And that's a beautiful thing. Incorruptible, baby. Perfect money. Let's freaking go. Robert Brady, I hold gold coins. In the future, I can cash 1 coin per week to supplement my income with cash without adding it to my yearly income. Rave says, in my honest opinion, gold will drop in price as India changes from gold dowries to Bitcoin dowries. Robert says, but Bitcoin is the store of wealth always. Preach. Get your hands into everything you can. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, and real estate, etc. Says Passive. Love it, Robert. Word. For my neighbor, does silver and gold guns have massive safe? Right? Mark Anthony, ETH futures ETFs equals trash and a waste of time, not an investor's interest, and it's ETH. Bitcoin spot ETF is where the focus needs to be. Preach. Mark Anthony, I agree 100%. How many of you agree with Mark? Yeah, good stuff. I always think it's a good idea to diversify, even though I'm not a believer in fiat currency. I still have money in stocks and bonds, says $0 Giro. Rave says gold is common as rocks. Gold is a rock. It's just a gold colored rock, right? Everything has gold. How many people do you know with Bitcoin? Great point, Rave, 100%. That question will not age very well. Everyone will have it as soon as they realize it. Appreciate you guys. Despite popular belief, we are still very early, but this might be the last time I can say that, or the last year, perhaps. We shall soon see. Punchy Coffee 20, what it do? Let's go, Bit Bros. Let's go. Chris, nah, Bitcoin came along and stole me from gold. I feel the same way. Go crypto. Love it, JV. Let's freaking go. Shout out to Stephen Minton. Appreciate you. Much love, much respect. Maybe get some gold late on life. Word, I am not a proponent of Bitcoins, but I still have a few small bags of a lot of random crypto, says $0 Giro. Liked and smash. Thank you. Appreciate it. Gold will never have a hard cap and will never have true scarcity versus Bitcoin. That's the new gold being discovered every day. Facts, Mark Anthony. Appreciate the insights. Much love. I still own some gold and silver held over from my pre-Bitcoin days. Small by comparison though. Word up, MK. Shout out to Fairground Fun Fairs UK. Would there be a video on YouTube about finding that gold rock? Yeah, there should absolutely. It was viral on X. I found it. I'm sure you could find it on YouTube as well. They're just like very happy and, of course, celebrating. It's life-changing finding a gold rock that size. Gary Gensler, the Tanya Harding of markets, 100% smashing those kneecaps of crypto investors. Relentless. You know what I mean? Savage. No Clarity Gary is a motherfucking savage. You know what I mean? Let's go. Hit 300. Send it. Okay. If your boss tells you to do something and you refuse, you would get fired. Gary Gensler does it, and no one bats an eye. Fire the traitor. I'm with you 100% digital dankness. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, what up? What up, J-Dub? Laker 21 mil. Good to see you. Miners will squeeze, says AD. We shall see. Gary's boss is Biden, not Congress. That's deep, Lee. Word up. Chris, Exactly. Gary Gensler has a brother, Robert Gensler. His brother is controlling him and the SEC. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Leonard Ray. Congress can't do ish to Gary. It seems that way. And when they brought up, Gary, you've made a fortune. I know I've heard rumors that he's worth north of hundreds of millions of dollars, which he accumulated being boss of Goldman Sachs and, being in this position. And Congress was pressing him. He was like laughing when they were acknowledging how wealthy he is. So Gary even knows himself. He's like untouchable. This guy thinks he's the Teflon Don John Gotti. You know what I mean? Well, he is the sheriff of crypto nonetheless, but hopefully Congress does something about it and they don't let him get away with this. We shall see though. First, Gary. Oh, word. No. Robert Gensler is a vice president and portfolio manager for T. Rowe Price. Interesting. Yo-Yo, I always smash the like button for JV. Best crypto YouTuber out there. Thank you, Yo-Yo. Much love. No Claire Gare has to go. 100% Robbie Kaiser. Appreciate you tuning in. I am sure there's been a ton of word. That's his brother. Him and his brother are doing sad businesses behind closed, or shady business behind closed door. Seems to be this way. Geoff McCarthy, what it do? When is Gary supposed to leave? That's a good question. When's the date he's supposed to leave? You know what I mean? I'd love to know myself. Preach JV, a spot ETF is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. Facts. To sell your dollars for Bitcoin? Heck yes. Bitcoin ETF approval by January 10, 2024, predicts Mark Anthony, as that's the final deadline for Kathy Wood's ARK 21 shares ETF. That would be a blessing. I'm looking forward to it. Yep, first halving for me, says Boz. You're in for the ride of your life. A philosophy of hustle to dawn, first halving. Word up. Welcome, welcome. Mark, what should we do after the bull run? The cool thing is you don't need to do nothing but hodl. I know it sounds too easy, but that's it. You do nothing but hodl. You're going to be tempted. You're going to see altcoins surge thousands of percent. And you're going to be, oh, I missed the boat on that one. If I would have put 25 cents in that, I would have been a billionaire. But hold the fort. Most people are going to get wrecked. It comes and goes, these bull markets. And, many people will get wrecked because they're going to be ish-coining. Stress, extreme caution. The safest, fastest horse in the race, clearly and obviously, is Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Look at the history. Just look at that. Every halving event. We're up. I saw a chart more recently. I think I even shared it on X, but it showed you the price increase of Bitcoin since the inception 14 years ago of the Genesis block. And it was something, I'm paraphrasing, but up like 69 million %, for Christ's sake. So just get some Bitcoin, hodl, dollar cost average, keep adding to your bag, and do what most people are incapable of doing, having patience, right? And by the time the next halving comes along, you're going to be massively in the green, because every long-term hodler of Bitcoin who has been hodling a cycle, which is 4 years or longer, is in the green. The people who lose are the people with the weak hands, the paper hands. They end up selling to Grayscale, MicroStrategy, Blackrock, JP Morgan, you name it. I bought at 40,000 on the way to 70, and I bought at 17, 19, and 26, and another at 26,000, says Jesse Oro. Congratulations. That's a great example of what you should be doing, dollar cost averaging. Word up. First halving for me, says Robbie. Word up. Miners buckle up, says AD. Let's go. Evan Rivera, welcome fam. Glenn T, welcome. Evan says I pulled out my 401k, so I'll be able to have one whole Bitcoin. Congrats. Don't worry, it wasn't life-changing for me. I only had it for 2 years. All good. What do you think it's going to be 2 halvings from now when you're a decade in? Food for thought, right? Uncensored is best. 100%, Glenn. I don't like having to think about what I can and cannot say and thinking about, oh, are they going to terminate me because I just said something that they don't agree with? I don't have to worry about that over on Rumble. So you get true, authentic, genuine, uncensored JV, the only platform, Rumble. So everyone follow me on Rumble. We're going to continue over on Rumble in a few moments. Only reason I have 401k is because my company matches 6% of what I put it in on top of that of an additional 3% for free. So it's kind of like hard to not participate. I just take loans out against it to buy more Bitcoin. Word up, smart man. You know what I mean? Same here, match my 401k. Fair value accounting will pump Bitcoin in a few months, even without the ETF. Facts, Hazy. Wall Street obviously needs Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't need Wall Street. Facts. Yeah, my financial advisor would freak if bailed both my Roth IRA. Maybe, probably. Daniel says, do you like to make beats? I am a Cuban musician, Bitcoin to the moon. I'm not a beat maker, but I have a little background in rapping, being an MC. You know what I mean? I like to spit some bars, so if you got some good beats, send them my ways. You never know. Maybe we'll put something together. I Trust Capital is really good for investing. That's right. They're the largest crypto IRA platform in the world, from my understanding. Smash that like. Fire Gary Gensler. Word up. I'm with you. Thank you for the stream. You're welcome, PHX. Again, if you guys gain value out of this, the greatest compliment, all you got to do is smash the like. If you can do that, it's going to help out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Lee Zapp, Crypto Rover is wrong. The most important factor is what the Dem Party wants to do with BTC. Word. Dem Party on the way out. Word. Dem Party will be wrecked by RFK and Bitcoin. Word. Patience is a virtue. Preach. Gensler to prison. 100%. Bitcoin trades 24/7. Stocks only trade 32.5 hours per week. Bitcoin has got the same price discovery as a stock that's been trading for 67 years. Preach. Well then, put my 401k in MicroStrategy and Grayscale. Word. Anyways, fam, we're going to continue this after party uncensored on the one and only uncensored platform, which is Rumble. To join us, visit rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply click the link in the live chat, which I pinned in the live chat to make it as easy as possible to make sure you find the right link. Also, caution, there's a lot of imposters on Rumble, just as there's a lot of imposters on every social network. Unfortunately, they're scammers, but it is what it is. My official Rumble channel has over 700 followers, so don't follow anyone that says 0 followers with the same name. Those are imposters, just FYI. Anyways, fam, let's end this YouTube broadcast. I look forward to seeing you all at our regular scheduled time tomorrow, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Let's continue uncensored over on Rumble. Deuces, YouTube. All right, the YouTube stream should be